Hey there, Delicious, and welcome back to DML. So, I just wanted to quickly point out, because a few people were asking me, like, do we know the elements of the new dragons that have been released? The answer to that is yes, at least for the Warden and the Doomsday dragons. If you go onto the DML Wiki and scroll down, it actually shows that they're epics and their elements. So, the Warden dragon is a plant, fire, and earth type dragon, so nothing too special, not a divine or anything. And then the Doomsday dragon, if we scroll down, he's also an epic with energy, wind, and void elements. So again, not too impressive of a dragon, but like a lot of people, you know, I do like the design of these guys, so I'm eager to see when they come out for everyone. Is with the other two new dragons, the Warden and Doomsday, a lot of people were like, isn't this a new body type? This definitely looks like a new body type. I didn't think it was. I thought it looked like the Earth Dragon, and on the wiki it confirms that these dragons are Leonine style. So you can click on this and it shows you all of the other Leonine style dragons. So that's the same as the Leopard Dragon, same as the Cinder Dragon. You know, it's pretty much exactly the same, it's just the new dragons just have their head a little bit further up. Apart from that, the bottom of the body and everything is exactly the same. So I'm sorry, but there is no new body type, but they still look like they sort of have a different body type. Unless they're gonna like categorize this separately, but I doubt it. But you know, they're still really cool looking dragons, so don't take that necessarily as an all negative thing. They're still pretty cool. And on top of that, you may see, but the image files for the two new dragons have been released. So we know that this weird masked dragon is called the Masque dragon with a Q, which I think is almost it's almost annoying because I don't expect it to be spelt like that. Anyway, that's to me. The egg is kind of cute. It's kind of freaky with no eyes on it because it's got the mask on it. The little baby I think is really adorable. And then of course we have the adult form, which I kind of agree, it does sort of look like the Wraith Dragon just wearing a mask, except this one also has really terrifying horns on it. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. And then we have the Referee Dragon. So this is pretty much confirming his name. So we got the little egg that even has the little whistle on the front. Then we've got him here with his little booties on and little shorts, or they're not shorts, they're little football socks, aren't they actually? And then finally, his adult form looks like this, and he is a really, really cool looking dragon. I like his colours. I really do. I really do. I can appreciate this dragon. So he is going to be my main goal in this next event. Depends on what the third dragon is, I guess. What the heck? I just logged in and then I received this. Well, considering I was so sick that I didn't think I was going to be able to do a video today, I guess I probably should. But you know, thank you so much, DML team, for this. It's extremely unexpected. You know, I would never expect something like this. And, you know, as much as I may sometimes have my negatives about the game, you know, the team I always have understood, have always been putting in their best effort that they can. And you know, before you start saying, oh look, it's proof that Quacks works for Gameloft, you know, other content creators have also had this sent to them in the past, you know, right? So I'm just gonna leave it there. But you know, I have been playing DML for, you know, 3.5 years, just under now. I mean, look at all the blooming dragons we've got. It takes an entire hour to pet all of these bad boys, just under. So, you know, I've been with the game for a very long time, just as a lot of people have. And, you know, they have offered to send me in-game items and stuff before for the sake of, you know, guides and event walkthroughs. And a lot of the time, I've just not really, you know, taken the opportunity to get those items in-game. But, you know, I guess if it's thrust upon me in this manner, I guess I'll just have to accept it humbly. The gems that I got given is sort of like as if we were to win the gem sweepstakes from the summertime event. So then that begs the question, because a lot of people have been asking, what would you spend gems on if you were to win the sweepstakes? And it is really important that you use your gems in the right place if you want to use them on the best things. In general, I would say avoid boss dragons. If you do manage to win the sweepstakes, it's not necessarily the greatest thing to spend it on. First thing that you should do is make sure your hatchery is upgraded. If you're not at level 3 in your hatchery yet, do it. Upgrade it to level 3 because it helps out a ton. Next thing you should make sure that you've got done is upgrading your portal. I don't really need to upgrade it ever again because, well, I've already progressed through the whole map and I have max level dragons now. But if you are using your friends' dragons, you know, hiring and stuff like that, upgrading your portal is extremely useful. So make sure you upgrade that whenever you can. Of course, with gems, you can also unlock elements on your dragons. So, for example, if we want to awaken this guy's third element, we could spend 99 gems on it. So, that's another priority for what you should be spending your gems on. And of course, another one is, even if you get a massive surplus of gems, best thing you can do is spend it on VIP every month, or every 20 days or so. You know, 200 gems for 20 days of VIP seems a little bit expensive, but compared to 7 days and 2 days of VIP, it is much, much cheaper. So, saving your gems for use in VIP and VIP events and stuff is probably one of the best things that you can do in-game. And after all of those things, well, I guess you're sort of free to spend your gems on anything you want. But at the same time, they may come out with a new Divine event within the next 6 months, and maybe those gems will come in handy then. So maybe your best idea is to just hoard them, rather than just spending them on garbage. For example, if you ever have a lot of gems, I would never recommend buying the food bundles unless you're during a food usage event. You know, like we get the weekend events and such. You can spend it on that then, and maybe you'll get a special dragon. But apart from that, there are probably better things that you can spend your gems on and, you know, prioritize things in the game. So, you know, even though we do have this amount of gems, and I'm probably going to end up using all of these for VIP so that we can live stream DML again soon, I'm probably not going to put this on until the new event starts on, when is it? The 15th? So, I probably am just going to end up saving all of these gems until the new event starts. You know, that way, I know that as soon as the event starts up, we can add VIP on. Maybe it will help us, maybe it won't. So, you know, use any gems that you buy, or that you gather, or that you win. Make sure you use them in the best ways that you can. You know, when you get the opportunity to have gems, don't just blatantly waste them. Back when I used to spend a decent-ish amount on the game back like 2 years ago. I mean, I used to sometimes, due to work scheduling and that, I just used to speed up breeding timers all the time. Because, you know, I wanted vids out quicker, I wanted stuff faster. But that was not the most optimal play, admittedly. It definitely was not. So, just think ahead of time. Don't just vibrantly go and spend all of the event currency or gems that you get. Think about what you're doing before you spend it, because otherwise you'll probably end up regretting your decision to do that. And, you know, a lot of people do spend quite a bit of money on this game. And I think that quite a lot of those people still end up spending their money in the wrong things. Like, they could have just spent it on doing something else, or upgrading their portal, and it would have been a lot more value to them in the long run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's your choice, your game, you do what you want. Maybe you're a free-to-play player, in which case, maybe you hoard all of your gems and save it for the special stuff. In which case, it's even more important that you spend your gems on the correct things. And I'm sure you've already thought about these things before, especially if you're a really strategic person. But for instance, you can make a few thousand gems last a very long time. That's a lot of VIP. A lot of months of VIP right there. And that is like my main thing, because VIP gives me a ton of extra fights I can do, gives auto battle tickets. It means that we can do more arena fights, which means we get more arena win streaks, which means we get Dragon Fury essence and stuff. So, it's like never ending. Just how good some uses for gems can be. But, you know, not everyone is going to win the gem sweepstakes. I realise that. So maybe you're feeling a little bit pooper peeve Steved right now. I understand that. I understand that. You know, I've been without gems for like the last 2 months in DML. Like, the only gems I've earned have been from that last boss challenge event. And, I pretty much spent all of them just to make the event easier. Like, I could have done that event without spending a single gem with the schedule that I was up to. But for the sake of getting a few extra hours of sleep a night, I just spent the extra gems. I was like, look, it's going to be worth it. As long as I'm not super tired in the morning, we should be fine. And it worked out. So, anyway, that is the current vibe of what's been going on in DML, especially for me. So, you know, it is very unfortunate that I am very ill at the moment. I am trying my best to sound like I am not dead, and I'm also trying my best to make it sound like my nose is not all over the place. Because I did do a very long video yesterday, and I've been cutting it up into parts, and I had to sit there and edit out pretty much every time that I, like, sneezed or made a horrible, like, nose noise. And Jesus, that was a lot of editing. It was like every 3 minutes or so, I'd have to cut out something. Just because of the noises that my nose was making. It was not good. So, you know, for the rest of today, honestly, I will probably just end up, you know, I don't know, editing some stuff together, plus this, looking out for new event news, and, you know, waiting for E3 later today. So I did watch the PC, Sony, and Ubisoft E3 stuff yesterday. But genuinely, there's some stuff that's been interesting, but the Nintendo section is the thing to be looking out for this year, because there has been so much good stuff revealed already. I mean, new Super Smash Bros. At the very least. Like, that would be enough, probably, for me to want to buy a Switch. I already have a Switch in my home though, luckily. But honestly, if you're gonna tune into any E3 stuff this year, definitely tune into it this afternoon with the Nintendo section. Especially if you're into games like DML, which are more like casual based, maybe, you know, more kid-friendly graphics. You know, the Nintendo portion stuff, they make games that are mostly still for kids, of course, but, you know, I'm still playing a lot of Nintendo stuff, even though I'm 20 now. God, I'm 20? I still feel like a child. When did that happen? Someone save me. RIP. I don't know, I need some, like, what's the strepsils, like the cough sweets, and I need the, you know, the little tubes where you shove it up your nose and you go, and then you suck it all up, and then it's like the worst, most disgusting taste ever, but it blocks your nose up. Well, it makes it so that your nose isn't runny anymore. I need one of those. I know I have one somewhere, but I think it's been lost in the ether of garbage, wherever that's been. But just while I'm here, I did also want to say, I was really planning on streaming for the whole day, for my birthday or for most of it, whenever I could, until the E3 stuff started, but I can't. I literally cannot. So, I guess we will have to plan that for another day. Maybe next week? Maybe as soon as I get better? I don't know, that could take forever. So I'm also just suffering from hay fever garbage. Hey, did you know FIFA's coming out? FIFA's on the Switch now, which is pretty weird. But I guess it makes sense. But yeah, my brain is also, like, all over the place. So, I can't really focus on too many things at once without getting dizzy. So that's a great sign as well, isn't it? I mean, just the sound of DML is giving me a headache. All that you need to know is, you know, it is a normal day of DML. I am dying, and I want the new events and new dragons to get revealed. That's it. That's all that you need to know, basically. But for now, again, I do thank Gameloft and everything that they've ever done for me. And, you know, same what they've done for other content creators before. They have been really supportive of community members, and, you know, even though sometimes you may question or have a differing opinion on whether they manage some of their stuff as well as they could, you know, they've always been relatively supportive to me, relatively nice, and, you know, I have been in contact with a couple of the community managers and stuff in the past, and I don't get why there's such a distinct anger at them from people, including some of the stuff that was posted on the forums yesterday. In fact, I might have it open. Who is this? Yeah, there was some arguing about the community managers and stuff on the forums, and people just being asshats for the sake of it. I don't know why. Like, I get that there's some stuff in game that you might want altering. There is no particular reason why I'm in the mentoring section here, but you've got to remember that not all decisions just come from a community manager. Some of the decisions also come from higher up in the company, and, you know, come from God knows where else. Don't just blame one person for the faults of a global company. Like, I'm not gonna blame the Gameloft community manager for DML for the issues that Dungeon Hunter has had. I am not gonna blame Andrus for that. You know, that's not his fault. You know, maybe not everyone here gets what I'm talking about now. The ones that do, I'm sure you understand, but, you know, just don't be horrible to everyone. Calm down a little bit. And realise that probably a lot more goes on behind closed doors than you'd probably imagine it does. And they do put in a lot of time and effort into the games, even if it is a mobile game that is relatively pay to win based on timers and a bunch of other stuff that is found in stereotypical, air quotes, shoddy mobile games. Doesn't mean that they don't put in a lot of effort, a lot more than you probably understand. So, for now, thank you very much, and thank you to everyone that's been sending me birthday wishes and fan art and random stuff. I do appreciate it, even if, I don't know, maybe I don't respond to it in the proper way because I'm very dead at the moment. So maybe after the sickness is over, maybe I'll get back to normal. But for now, you know, enjoy your time in DML. I will report as soon as we get new news on anything. But until next time, I love you. See you next time.